Hi, and welcome back to the Sugar Freedom channel. Sugar Freedom, for anyone who wants to get off of sugar and grains and vegetable oils for good, especially if you have dealt with obesity, as I have, or if you're dealing with some signs of depression, low self-esteem, and what I've also discovered recently, dopamine deficiency, also a lack of dopamine sensitivity. So I am doing the alt sliding scale diet, which I found on Amazon. Here's a picture of the cover of the Kindle book. This was written by Dr. Leonid Altshuler, who he is a medical doctor and he is a psychiatrist dealing with his own issues with anxiety, depression, insomnia, dopamine deficiency, and a lack of dopamine sensitivity, which was caused by insulin resistance caused by inflammation. So this is an anti-inflammatory diet, correct? And it's working. So this is day 7, and I just want to report on some of the changes that have been happening. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my 1940s blouse, authentic vintage. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm having a lot more fun. I'm feeling a lot more motivated. I'm feeling a lot more enthusiastic about my singing and dancing and my art projects. And so one of the things I'm doing is dressing up more. And we have a production company. We do theater. And we've collected a lot of costumes over the last 10 years. Actually, it'll be my 20th anniversary with my husband in February. And we've collected a lot of costumes and we're looking to sell some of these, make some room. I'm doing a new project that's going to be set in more a Victorian period during the gold rush about opera singers in San Francisco during the gold rush. So starting to get rid of some of the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s clothing that we have and getting ready to invest in some Victorian era costumes. So that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing my 40s blouse today. Like I said, our production company is Kat Van Doo, and that's at katvandu.com. If you want to get my nutrition program, which is no sugar, no grains, no vegetable oils, that's at sugarfreedom.com. All right, but what I am doing right now is the alt sliding scale diet. And that means that for 30 to 60 days, we are eliminating pretty much all carbohydrates. Yes, it's essentially a carnivore diet. What's interesting is I know that the carnivore diet is incredibly getting a lot of press right now, getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are doing this strategy. What I am doing right now is essentially pretty much it's meat and it's dairy and eggs. So I'm getting up in the morning. I'm usually having a couple of eggs. This morning I had 2 eggs, a chicken thigh, and 2 slices of bacon. And oh my gosh, I am so full. I ate at 7. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock now, and hunger is not even on the horizon. Not hungry, no cravings. Probably not going to be hungry again until 1, and then very naturally I'm just going to probably end up eating lunch at 1 o'clock, and that will most likely be it. If I want a dinner, I will have a dinner, which will consist of either meat or maybe some cheese. I find I do better with just the meat and eggs and fish on their own. As I add cheese, it tends to increase my appetite. That being said, I've been doing this for 1 week and I've had cheese on a couple of days. And although I didn't have that same cessation of appetite, I still felt fine and my mood has been very good. Let's talk about mood. One of the reasons why I'm moving to the alt sliding scale protocol, rather than just eliminating sugar and grains, also eliminating pretty much all carbohydrates, is that I started to experience after menopause, which was about 3 years ago, started to experience more mood swings and more depression. So when I got Dr. Altshuler's book, what I realized is that there is this dopamine, serotonin, insulin resistance connection, and if we can just get rid of the carbohydrates for a certain amount of time, we can reset our dopamine sensitivity, and then, hallelujah, we can probably go back to a bit of a more balanced, adding some of the above ground vegetables back into our nutrition program, which, boy, would I love to do, because I've been going to farmers markets with my husband, because my husband and my son, of course, they're normal eaters. They can eat however they like and not gain weight and still feel good. So I'm making them salads and vegetables and getting them the beautiful summer fruits. Here's the really good news, though. Even though we're getting these beautiful summer fruits for them, I am not craving them. I'm simply not experiencing the cravings that I was experiencing even a couple of weeks ago. If you don't mind, I'd like to talk about what happened back in January of this year. I had been doing great. I'm the sugar freedom woman. I hadn't been binging, even though I've had binge eating disorder for decades. Right after New Year's, I was doing great, and I fell off the wagon, the wheels came off, and I had, a couple of days of serious binge eating. Hooray, hooray, I got off of that, but I still found that I was struggling. So I've been clean since January the 3rd, but still had been experiencing some cravings, still experiencing some sadness, some depression, some self-loathing, a little bit of self-hatred going on. Yeah. So I decided to go at this alt sliding scale diet, and I have to tell you, this is day 7, and I am feeling so much better. Keto, getting rid of sugar, getting rid of carbohydrates. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, this is not a panacea. Of course, a panacea is something that cures everything, correct? And sometimes we can get really excited. I can get really enthusiastic and act like, oh, it's going to cure bipolar disorder, and it's going to cure obesity, and it's going to cure diabetes, no more Alzheimer's, all of these things. I don't want to get unrealistically enthusiastic. We want to stay rational, correct? But I do want to continue to report on how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, and what I'm doing. The other thing that I want to talk about is how important it is if you're going to take something out of your life, if you're going to take sugar out of your life, if you're going to take grains out of your life, you might want to replace it with something else that you really enjoy, some kind of non-food joy that you get into your life. And for me, that's singing, acting, dancing, writing, gardening, music, all of these things. The problem is when you're depressed, you are going to procrastinate on the things that you love. You're going to avoid the things that you love. So what I had to do, and what's happened over the last week, thank goodness, is that because I have eliminated pretty much everything but, the meat and the dairy, and some of you may need to eliminate dairy too. Dairy may not work for you. And dairy, I'm talking about just heavy cream and cheeses, okay? But what has happened is that now I'm singing again. I'm dressing up again. I'm gardening again. I just went and trimmed these rose bushes yesterday morning, playing with my dogs more, having more fun with my husband. All of these things are so fantastic. And I believe that by eliminating the carbohydrates, resetting my dopamine sensitivity, reducing my insulin resistance, what's happening is the procrastination is leaving, the depression is leaving, and now I'm starting to redo and do the things I love again. So there it is. If you want a specific protocol, you can get the Alt Sliding Scale Diet book. You can get that at Amazon.com. If you just want to give up sugar and grains, you can get Sugar Freedom at sugarfreedom.com. I'm trying it. I am loving it. Oh, of course, one of the things that Dr. Altshuler says, check in with your doctor to make sure that your doctor knows that you're making this dietary change, especially if you're on insulin, if you're on any kind of medication. Removing carbohydrates is definitely going to change your metabolism, the way you respond to medication. So please check with your doctor, check with your health professional first, at any rate. So that's how I'm doing day 7 of the Alt Sliding Scale Diet, dopamine reset, doing more and more research on dopamine, serotonin. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to learn. More research on binge eating disorder. There's a test for that. Did you know this? I did not know this. I've had it for ages. And you can go to, bear with me for just a second. All right, what is the website? Well, there actually is a binge eating disorder test. If you Google that, and I'll put it in the show notes, you can actually take the test. I scored 42 out of 46, severe binge eating disorder. Check out that test. It might be helpful for you. So there we go. there's today's video on 7 days, no sugar, no grains, no carbohydrates, feeling good. See you back here soon, next week, another update, next Monday. Like, subscribe, share, come back, and just go out there and have a wonderful time. Remember, if you're going to eliminate sugar and carbohydrates, replace them with something you love. Okay, everybody, that's it for me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.